Over the next few weeks, students from all over the country will be heading off to university for Freshers' Week. What should they expect? And how will they survive? Quite apart from the intellectual demands of their coursework, they will also be facing many day-to-day challenges. Stuff like this.
I didn't have a clue how to wash clothes. Just chuck them in.
Well, if someone told me to do the washing up, I'd tell them to go fuck themselves.
One favourite I remember actually was, and a mate taught me the recipe, chicken and mushroom pot noodle in a warm baguette.
I think probably one of the biggest mistakes I think was doing the wrong course.
For many students, sharing a living space for the first time can be a potential flashpoint. Nowhere is this more evident than in the areas of cleaning and washing.
I remember once, there was that much dirty washing, you couldn't even get in the sink, so I just made a tower out of dirty plates.
You don't want to be the one that snaps first and never goes, right, fucking hell, well, I'll do the hoovering or I'll do the washing up, because that's your job then. It's a game of brinksmanship.
I soon learned just how long you could go without actually washing before things started really stinking.
We had one guy who once went to hospital with a rash, found out that there was too much penicillin in his room. He had to just penicillin because there was that much mould on the plates.
Pair of trousers in the summer months, I think you could get away with about 2 weeks.
I might have once washed all of my clothes and myself in the same bath.
Obviously the winter a little bit longer.
That the guy who had the sticky bathroom floor used to have that awful wet dog smell, you know, the damp cloth where he'd obviously left his clothes in the washing machine for too long.
That's the problem. You don't really smell your own stench so much.
And he smelled all the time, and nobody could figure out how he didn't know or whether he was immune to it. But overpowering.
Of course, being at university isn't all about reading books. It's also about trying not to spend all your money in the first week and laying the groundwork for your future. And what better way to prepare yourself for life after university than by trying out a job you don't want to do?
Hate working in the kitchen. I worked in this kitchen and basically I went into work for the washing up job. I started washing up because I knew how the machine worked. And then he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm washing up." He said, "But you're a chef." I was like, "What?" And then I was chucked in, I was a chef straight away.
Yeah, I worked in a pub. Worked in a couple of pubs. I got thrown out of one pub, well, thrown out of work in there, sacked, I suppose you'd call it, for getting pissed on the job, yeah. So.
I did 3 days picking cucumbers, and they used to pick you up in the morning in a van. You had to 6 o'clock in the morning or 5:30 in the morning. So I gave that up. And also I don't like cucumbers, they're shit. They're just a long piece of water with green around it.
I once worked in a TFI Fridays and I lasted about 3 hours because they tried to make me sing happy birthday to somebody, so I quit there and then.
Basically, I was a podium dancer in nightclubs. I kind of figured that if I was going to be at the club anyway, I'd rather be there getting free drinks and getting paid for it.
Did I shop in the pound shop? Yeah, for most things that came in from the kitchen came from the pound shop. What was it useful for? Everything, because everything cost £1.
So one night when it was just getting really, really hectic, two was shouting at me, I just went, fuck it, just walked out. Just ran down the road, left all the customers. I wasn't having him shout at me.
The only part-time job I had when I was at uni was working for Argos. I've never realised just how much a bunch of cunts the general public are.
All students work on a tight budget. So when it comes to food, you'll need to get inventive in the kitchen.
Yeah, I like chips. I like chips with gravy.
What's the quickest thing I could have cooked? A bit of bread.
The easiest way of getting a chip cooked is open the packet, put them on the tray and shove them in the oven.
Well, I used to cook cheese on toast in the toaster. I'd turn it on its side. And that would be an easy, convenient way of cooking it. It would be done within a couple of minutes.
I don't think I'd trust someone who tells me they've never eaten out of a saucepan.
Well, to be honest with you, I never really use saucepans. You can't put them in the microwave, can you?
I loved this guy who insisted on always eating Cocoa Pops all the time dry, but he would not eat them out of the box. He would pour them over the table and just pick away at them. It was disgusting, disgusting.
University is a great time for meeting new people and expanding your social circle. Indeed, the friends you make at university can remain with you for the rest of your life. So be careful who you hang around with.
Ended up rooming with quite a strange man and another student. He was my landlord. He had clearly just been left by his wife. He used to work nights at Asda and would bring us home discount meat, off the shelves and things, and encourage us to eat together with him. It was quite strange.
Yeah, I had a boyfriend that I snuck to university with me, and he lived in my halls, and I had to hide him under the bed or in the little sink department if the security came round to bollock me for smoking in my room. So so we had a bit of a running joke about him being like the little mouse, and he'd run from room to room and hide.
Second year I moved in with another 3 lads who were all my mates to start with, but I ended up falling out with all them as well.
They moved in with me, and 3 weeks later or 6 weeks later we both got thrown out of halls and had to move in together, and it was a fucking nightmare, and neither of us could look after it ourselves, let alone each other, or cook or clean. So yeah, it was a mess.
I remember not speaking to my flatmate for maybe about a week because he thought it would be funny to put a chicken Kiev on my pillow.
So what have we learnt? Bits and pieces from this lot, that's for sure. They're still alive though, so they must have done something right. Anyway, here's a couple of final thoughts.
It was the first time I had total freedom to do what I wanted. You'd just be your own boss. Once, when I got drunk, I was sick on the floor and didn't tidy it up for about a month.
I thought when I went to university, studying something creative, I thought it was going to be like going to the Bauhaus. I thought I was going to meet a real crazy bunch of individuals. I thought we were going to shave our heads, wear togas, Jesus sandals, chant round bonfires and write manifestos in cafes. And unfortunately, it's a bit like a weird version of Hollyoaks.